Hi, I guess you probably know I'm doing another John Candy month. Because I know I did one 5 years ago, and now it's 2024, and it's now 30 years since we lost the beloved comedic actor. His legacy will not be forgotten. I mean, he had such a presence in movies. You kind of enjoyed watching him no matter what role he played because he was always the most watched person in the room because he loved to be entertaining. He loved to make people laugh, and you could never take your eyes off him. He's just endearing to everybody. And I heard John was like that off camera. John was very nice, very friendly, very very nice to everybody on set. I mean, nobody could ever say they ever had a problem working with John Candy. John Candy was a natural in anything. Yeah, I'm gonna do another month of him. I'm gonna explore more of his films I haven't already reviewed yet. And I already told you enough about his daughter Jen. She's hosting Couch Candy, and his son Christopher, who's also an actor in his own right. I like the way they love to pay homage to their father in many ways, and they're both very talented. And we always, what I hated about some of the interviews that John was in, the moments of his weight got brought up. I thought that was rather childish. I mean, if a kid would bring that up, kids do that. Because I was a kid, I did stuff like that too. And but adults, why would adults bring up that? That was just insulting to the interview. But thankfully, John didn't get upset or walk out when those topics got brought up. He kind of joyfully played into it, and he found ways to dance around it, and he did it pretty well. John was a charming trooper at that sort of thing. So I like to pay a monthly homage to the comedic actor known as John Candy. And now the review. Review, please. I'm sure you've heard the phrase, bad movies we love. Yes, you've heard it several times, and I'm wondering if it came from Hollywood, kind of started that phrase. Maybe I'm wrong, it just kind of seems like it did. And I believe it was also the biggest influences behind Mystery Science Theater 3000 and Riff Tracks. And maybe it just kind of seems like it because it kind of takes movies that time has forgotten and it pays homage to them. Movies with not very good acting, science fiction films with crappy special effects and all that. Bad films, but you can't help but enjoy watching them. That's what this movie's trying to put out. And it has a great deal of talent, namely also John Candy, but also Dan Aykroyd, Gilda Radner, and Cheech and Chong. What a diverse cast this is. And they all do their segments pretty well, especially John Candy. Now, even though he's good in the movie, John Candy never really steals the focus for himself. No, John Candy was never that type of guy. He comes in, he does his bits, and he's pretty funny when he does them. Especially when they're talking over the clips and the scenes, and John Candy has the funniest wittiness. Well, he's not the funniest, but he has the incredible wittiness when he says the segments pretty well. It's just funny how you listen carefully things he says. He says it. He can say it with such subtlety, and you laugh anyway. Now, I'm not dismissing the other cast. Dan Aykroyd's pretty funny in his bits. So is the late great Gilda Radner and Cheech and Chong. They all come in and do their bits very well. I could imagine when this movie came out, it was quite a theater experience. I don't think many people see anything like this. Actors just playing themselves and just doing the hosting of what made these movies enjoyably bad. Bad movies you just are bad, but they're entertaining at the same time. That's what this movie does. It brings back movies you time forgotten. I like John Candy's segment has he host a salute to Ed Wood, who was a director of B movies, and in time you just kind of he makes you realize that they're so bad they're surprisingly entertaining, and everybody else does well too, and you could tell there was all a bunch of big laughs doing this, and it was just a load of fun. Yeah, It Came From Hollywood is diversive. So I'm going to give It Came From Hollywood a 10 out of 10. Have fun and enjoy. Bye-bye.